And for real, congratulations. Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc, coming to you with your no frills, the voice commentary from a singer. Oh, I haven't been here for a while. I missed you guys so much, but I have been tweeting on Twitter. I've been live tweeting the shows constantly, but I have some other things to do afterwards and all that good stuff. So we ain't gonna go into that. Let's get into the commentary. Let me tell you what happened. It is The Voice Top 5 semifinal, and the top 5 performed twice tonight, and we get to see their hometown visits. Nate Ruess opened the show performing his new song, Nothing Without Love. And I'm not sure I remember Nate singing before. He's the band Fun, right? His voice is so limericky to me, like that Irish lilt kind of thing. And the song started out pretty sedate and straightforward until we started rocking out a little bit. He's so animated. I love that. Oh my God. So it was a pretty good performance for me. I really enjoyed it. Round 1 was the coach's choice. TeamAdam started us out with Joshua Davis. He did I Can't Make You Love Me by Raitt. And so this is a silky smooth ballad from a silky smooth vocalist, you know. It was a nice fit for him, and he was milking it for all the emotional value. I loved his sound and take on the song, but I couldn't help but notice he stayed away from any of the really higher notes or giving it any oomph, any like, you know, breakout moment. It still just kind of laid there. Blake said he loves the softer side of what Josh does. Christina said it's super lovely while calling it soothing. Pharrell said it was his own rendition and said he knows how to make his voice fill up the space. TeamPharrell next had Koryn Hawthorne doing One by U2, and I love the tunnel vision that she started out. They had the 3 little tunnels and she was in one of them. They really made her look good on this too. She had her usual intensity but seemed a little more relaxed for this performance, a little more vibey, grooving to the music. It was totally involved in the lyrics and I really enjoyed it. Adam told her she did a fantastic job. Christina said she's grown by leaps and bounds. TeamBlake next had Meghan and Linsey doing I'm Not the Only One by Sam Smith. And this started out just a little whack kind of harmonically for me, and I was wondering if she could hear the music because she didn't sound quite in sync with it. I loved her idea of them up against the wall when she started out, you know, and it was really nice, really creative, and she really got into character for this. She looked great in the sparkly dress, but I just didn't enjoy the vocal. It was kind of jarring, her voice against the music. Something just didn't fit for me. Pharrell called it a great performance. Adam said her connection to the song was what he liked about this. Team Christina was up next with Carney doing Gravity by Bareilles, and some beautiful vocal and emotional work here from India. She killed the sweet intensity as well as the jagged edges of the song. This may have been her most personal performance so far. Adam told her she showed incredible taste throughout and called it amazing. Blake talked about how powerful of a performance it was. TeamPharrell was last tonight with Sawyer Fredericks doing For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield, and I liked this groove as soon as the music started. I was like, oh, and Sawyer was just the icing on the cake. I wrote, what is it about his voice that is so intriguing? Tell me what you guys think down in the comments. He was pretty still at the mic for this with his guitar. Just his way of delivering the lyric pulls me in though. This had a lot going on around him and it all added very well to the vibe and to the performance. You know, it wasn't just him by himself, but you know, it had the backgrounds going on, people doing a little dancing, the background guys came up and did a little step with him and all that. So it all made it very entertaining as well as his vocal being very nice. Adam said he did an incredible job. Blake said it's getting boring because he didn't know what to say, and Adam kept interrupting him. At first I was like, it's getting boring for you, Blake? What's going on? This is Robert Anton. Make sure to thumb up the commentary. Hopefully it has not gotten boring for you. Hopefully you missed me, and if you do, let me know that you missed me down in the comments. Tomorrow night we got The Voice and American Idol. Then Wednesday night we got American Idol. Next week we have The Voice finale. So hopefully I will be doing all of those commentaries for you. Thank you guys just so much for sticking with me, and thank you for your thumbs. Round 2. Ding! Round 2 is hometown dedications. And of course they got to go back to their hometowns for their visits, so we got to see all of that, but you guys can watch that on, you know, whatever happened, you guys can watch that later on. I'm gonna tell you about the performances. So the cast of Pitch Perfect 2 joined the coaches and talked about the vocal and emotional orgy that is the new movie coming out this weekend. Are you going to see it? Then TeamAdam's Joshua Davis sang again. He did When I Paint My Masterpiece by the band. And Joshua took this to the hoedown, you know, and just sat there in the groove. He brought a little more of the rough side of his vocal production here. His voice really is ear candy, but this wouldn't keep my attention for long because it had no range. It didn't really go anywhere. It didn't really do anything. It just kind of laid there, and I was just like, okay, I was ready for it to be over with. Blake didn't know the song, but said Josh has a way of connecting to the lyrics and it's clear that he's a writer. Christina said it was super fun to watch. TeamPharrell was next with Koryn Hawthorne. She did Oh Mary Don't You Weep by Aretha Franklin, or the Aretha Franklin version. You know, that's an old spiritual. And this was so tender and touching in the beginning, and I loved how it was so stark and her voice was infused with emotion. This is right up her lane, and she was preaching the word up there, y'all. She was giving me all kinds of preaching feeling going on. Has anybody noticed how much spiritual music though there's been on the show this season? Let me know if you think that's a good or a bad thing. All the coaches stood for Koryn. Adam says she's had a drastic, unbelievable journey on the show. Christina talked about her fighting, passionate way of singing. TeamBlake then had Meghan Linsey with Tennessee Whiskey by George Jones, and Naomi Judd dropped into Meghan's house during her hometown visit. Then Big and Rich showed up for her show. She pulled it out like the big guns, you know. Anyway, I love the story she was telling on this song. Her voice was the main instrument, and she swooped and slurred and wailed throughout her range. She also knows how to work the stage and the band and the audience all from her own comfort zone. She didn't really go out, but she, you know, just there on the stool. She walked around a little bit to the band members, you know, gave a little love to the audience just from where she was, went back, found her seat and finished it out. She's just a professional. She's done this, you know, for a long time. She was signed. She knows what's going on. Very professional. Christina called her a showstopper and said she can do it all, and Pharrell congratulated her. Team Christina was up next with Carney. She did Earth Song by Michael Jackson, and this sat very well, and her voice in the beginning of the song was so sweet and beautiful. She also had a nice approach to the lyrics. By the time she got to the big "what about" refrain, she was so fierce and the dress was flying and the fans, and it was a big moment for her. All the coaches stood for her, and I just thought it was like a superstar performance from her. Pharrell said it looked, sounded, and felt beautiful. Adam called her performances a mini performance art. And closing out the night was TeamPharrell with Sawyer. Fredericks. He did 1,000 Years by Christina Perri. And he dropped the guitar for this and got a ballerina on a tiny little box for his production. It was so cute. Again, he seemed to infuse this with more emotion and experience than he could possibly possess at his age. I'm like, where does this come from? I liked when he was getting to the edge of the stage. He went to both sides of the stage to greet his fans, but he always makes his way back to that center stage spot. He knows that better than anywhere, and it just seems to be his safe place. But oh my God, this boy. Adam noticed the booming part of his register that fills the room, he said. Blake called him the front runner and the real deal. And that is it for the commentary tonight. Snoop Dogg will be on the show tomorrow night. One person will be going home, and then we will be at the finale. Can you believe it? Oh my God. This is Robert Anton, robertantonnyc.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for sticking around, and I am out. Peace.